Oh shit, Coulson knows! Coulson knows, son! Coulson knows! You don't care. Got a Cyclone UFO quad rotor. I saw in a video it was strong enough to carry a GoPro. So I took it out and did some tests with it. So as you can see, it's not strong enough to carry a GoPro as long as it has its protective case. And I'm not sure I'm brave enough yet to fly it without a GoPro. However, my GoPro Black has been going bad on me. The one I got last Christmas, used. So I don't know what the previous owner did. But it's like it'll only work if I put it in the freezer first for like a minute and let the components inside get really cold, and then it'll flip on. Otherwise it just locks up. And I've started to have problems with my GoPro White that I got back in March of 2013. It's like if I hit record, it'll record 5 seconds and then shut off, and then it records normal after that, except the sound is completely off from the video, and I have to go in and post and line up the audio with the video. So I'll probably get new GoPros this year, and once I do that, I'll probably be a little more brave about putting these up on the quad rotor, because they already seem to be dying. So I'm not sure why, if you're a GoPro owner. I mean, I've put these things through the runner. And I lived in Kansas where it's super humid during the summer in an RV, so it's possible that they have some sort of moisture damage related on the inside or something like that. And I didn't always keep them in the protective case, which I probably should have. So this is sort of a Q&A. I've gotten asked, you know, I guess I put out these videos, right, about going back into the RV lifestyle, that I'm looking for another RV. And people are like, but you made it out of the RV life, why are you going back? Sort of confused on why I would do such a thing. And I think the general impression by a lot of people is that you have to be poor or in a state of, I don't know, not full employment. I don't know exactly. But that isn't right. And actually, being mobile is turning out to be an invaluable asset to me, in terms of my flexibility to just go places. I mean, as an employee, I'm extremely flexible. You can basically put me anywhere, and I'm going to figure out how to not just make it work, but make it work better and make me better than the people around me somehow, to the best of my ability. That's just kind of what I do. So when you're inside of a company, having that puts you on the radar for promotions and stuff. But because of, you know, there's so many people there, promotions don't come as often as if you were mobile and could go to fill promotions anywhere else. And that was kind of how I got the last two that I had. The first was kind of a multi-layered promotion, but you know, I got laid off, so I was unemployed. And then because I moved in, or I found the job as a camper and was able to move in, gave me the opportunity to get promoted to a full-time position at Amazon. But then, very shortly after, I was able to come here from Kansas. So I went from Illinois to Kansas, and then from Kansas to Nevada. And I was able to do that because I was mobile. Like, my resume looked good, my work experience looked good, I had positive recommendations, and everything going for me, except I wasn't here. And so it was kind of questionable. They were just kind of worried about, we're doing this sort of as a formality, but if you don't have the money to move, we're not going to be paying moving expenses. And I was like, it's not a big deal. I'm in an RV. Changed everything in that interview. The fact, because it wasn't that I was living in an RV. What I was saying is, I have no limitations, essentially, is what they heard. And it changed everything, which is how I got the position. And more recently, I didn't have like a formal interview, but it has opened multiple doors in conversations I've been having with different levels of people inside of Amazon. When I mentioned that I can go anywhere, and that I was talking to one person, for example, and they were like, so it's not a big deal if you have to move to Seattle, this and that. And I'm like, well, no, I'm actually looking to move back into an RV. I started off at Amazon as a camper. I'm hoping to get back into a camper. I kind of lost mine on my last move just because it broke down and I had to keep moving because I had to report for my job by a specific date. So, I would probably more than likely be taking the moving expenses and buying an RV to come out to wherever. And he was like, really? You know what? I need to put you in contact with somebody. Because if you don't have any limitations on where you can go, and how often you can go, then you might be good for something else. And I can't really say what it was. So I get in touch with this other guy, and I tell him sort of where my preferences would be to live, because there's certain places I haven't lived that I think would be cool to live in for a little bit. But I was like, ultimately, I can go wherever you need me to go. Period. And it's like a golden ticket. So people look at it as this detraction. Like they look down on you if you live in a mobile structure. But from the management point of view, they look at it as a total asset, which I had no idea. When I went into the mobile lifestyle, I had no idea it was such a remarkable improvement in my resume, because it's not something you could just put on your resume. You don't put, oh, and I live in a fucking van. You don't drop that on your fucking resume. But if you, in the course of an interview, make it a point to say, I'm mobile. However you want to say that, if you want to clean it up and make it more professional or whatever. That, or like, I have no restrictions, I have no limitations, I have no tie downs, whatever. It's a huge advantage over lots of people in the workforce who, they have kids or a wife, or maybe they have a sick relative that they're taking care of, or they're locked into an apartment lease, a rental agreement, or they're stuck because they bought a house and it's really hard to turn around and sell, especially in this market. By not having any of that, none of that weighing you down, any door is opened. So, while saying that, if you're coming out of college and you don't have like a girlfriend or kids or anything, well, it may seem strange because I know like how I wanted to live in like a studio apartment in the city, and then eventually I did live in the city, and I found out it was fucking atrocious and super expensive, and I was so happy when I finally got out of there. I don't ever want to go back to live in a city if I can avoid it. But I understand, if you're younger, that's where it's at, you know, whatever. But that all costs a shit ton of money. And so if you're looking at it not from the social aspects, if you're looking at it purely from your professional career development, so that way instead of being stranded into one place and only having jobs available that are around you or promotions around you or only in one work area, if you can, you don't have to give up the social life. You could still hang out with your friends and do all this stuff in the city because there are RV parks in the city. You just wouldn't have like the studio apartment aspect of it, all the imagery that goes along with that, and you know, crap that people see on TV that make them want it or whatever. If you can avoid that for like a couple of years, it puts you in a stronger financial position to have not just that, but a lot of the other things that you want that you would be struggling for otherwise. I mean, it's capitalism. Capitalism is about supply and demand. Amazingly, there is a complete vacuum of talented, experienced, and flexible people that can just go anywhere. Now you have those people, but they're usually locked into one area, and so promotions will be far and few between. But for the few that are out there who are just nothing stops them from going anywhere, there's going to be doors opening all over the place. So I would definitely consider it, especially if you're coming out of college, or if you're just a single dude or gal and you don't have anything tying you down. Give it a shot for a little bit and see if you can use it to your advantage to climb your ladder, wherever that is, or find better jobs around the country and put yourself in a stronger position. Because you can always get another place and then sell the RV or keep it for weekend camping. But try it out for a little bit before you knock it, and watch the doors open when you mention that you can go anywhere whenever they need you to go. It's a qualification that, while it's not like a skill set exactly, is something that in the world we live in today, businesses want desperately and they don't have enough of. So you're filling a need by doing it, and it's kind of a crazy need to fill. It's one I never would have considered until I did it and found out about the need. But that's kind of why I wanted to put this out there and address it, so that way other people know that that need needs to be filled, and if you can fill it, you should go for it.